Welcome to the What's on Sports podcast. There are people watching on YouTube. There are people watching on Facebook. Again, my name is John Todora. I am your host today. And now we're going to talk about something that I am so serious about. These are the top coaching vacancies in the NFL, ranked according to the way I see them. Let's talk about these coaching vacancies. There are 6 vacancies right now, and I believe there'll be at least a few more over the next few days. To me, the worst coaching position that's available right now is the Houston Texans. Obviously, you have to deal with what I talked about earlier, that Deshaun Watson situation, who thinks that he should pick a quarterback. That he should pick a coach. And if he doesn't get to pick a coach, is he going to be upset? Is he going to demand a trade? Are you even taking a team that has one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL if you decide to be coach, or are you going to become the coach and lose your quarterback right away? Along with the quarterback situation, you have a J.J. Watt situation. J.J. Watt, leader of the team, owed $17 million next year. If he's cut, they owe him $0. So this is a team in serious cap problems because Bill O'Brien should have never been a general manager of that team and has put the team in a bad situation with no draft picks coming up, or very few, no number 1, no number 2, and a bad cap situation. This is a team in need of a total rebuild. So I would not want to be the coach of the Houston Texans. I think it's a bad idea. Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank, who's the owner, just came out yesterday and said that he would be open to trading Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. That's your franchise quarterback and at least your number 2 wide receiver, probably number 1. He didn't have the best year on his team this year, but Julio's still a force. So you're taking over a team that has been absolutely awful all year long, has very few good parts, and the good parts that you have, the owner is willing to trade away and start over again. So would I take that team? No, I would not. Number 4 on the list, the Detroit Lions. I mean, listen, that is a franchise that is mired in absolute disaster constantly. It's been a franchise that's been almost impossible to make competitive on. Let's say not almost impossible. Let's just say impossible to make competitive. So I would say that that's a team that I would want nothing to do with. Number 3 on the list, Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody's super hyped on Jacksonville right now. Super hyped based on the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 1 pick, which means they're going to get the Trevor Lawrence. So that's all great. That's all fine and good. You're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the best football player out of that draft, maybe. But here's the problem in Jacksonville. Nobody wants to stay there. That is a terrible culture. It's been a terrible culture for years. That team has had a lot of trouble keeping players there. Now, there's a lot to do with that. Jacksonville is a wonderful, wonderful city. In fact, our company has a home base in Jacksonville. Been there a few times. I work remotely. Been there a few times. Great people, great atmosphere, super friendly. Not a lot to do in Jacksonville, though. You're an NFL player. You want to go out. You want to party. You want to have that kind of lifestyle. It's not for you in Jacksonville. You got a wife and 2 kids. It's a perfect place for you. A guy like Phillip Rivers would love Jacksonville. Great place to raise your children. Not a great place to go party. No state tax, which is nice, but just not a great place to hang out and party. And something about that culture has had trouble keeping superstars. Number 2 on my list, the New York Jets. Now, I know you can say the same thing about the Jets. The Jets have been a disaster for a long time. But it's New York, baby. It's New York. I think they have a decent quarterback right now. If you stick with Sam Darnold, you can build through the draft and make yourself a really good team. If not, you've got a shot at Jason Fields out of Ohio State. And if you take Fields, you can still keep Darnold for a year, trade Darnold to get more draft capital back. I think the Jets are loaded in the draft as far as how many picks they have. They've got salary cap space. It's a team that could be built if the right coach comes in and sets the right culture. And again, it's New York. Players are going to want to play in New York, especially if you can show them that team is on the turnaround. And number 1 on my list, and I think this one is a no-brainer, the San Diego Chargers is the best job in football right now. I mean, you got a quarterback who might be top 7 in the NFL in his first year. You've got some defensive players that are absolutely fantastic. You got one of the Bosa brothers. You got a pass rush. You got an offensive line. You've got wide receivers. Like, that team is really, you got a great tight end. You've got decent running backs. That team is really, really loaded. And they have all their picks coming up in the next few years. So if you're looking at me and asking me what job I would take out of anything, San Diego, baby. Now, high state income tax, which is obviously going to affect somebody who goes out there. But San Diego is a beautiful city, too. It's a great place to go hang out. It's a great place to recruit players to come and play. Hey, come out to sunny San Diego. You've been working in Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Cleveland, Cincinnati, freezing your butt off all year long. Come out to San Diego where it's 75 all year long. And when in the summertime it gets to be 85, it's beautiful, beautiful women, beautiful sunsets. You're on the beach. Lot to sell with San Diego. To me, that is the number one job right now. They should be treating it that way. They should be saying to themselves, we are the San Diego Chargers, and we're actually, they're in LA now, but we are the LA Chargers, and we are I can't believe somebody wrote down San Diego, and I just went off and on about it. Anyway, they're in LA, which is even better. The LA Chargers is the number one job in my opinion. All right.